I think, I was thinking about it while I was driving here today. I was thinking about, oh my God, everybody is just a kid with just like, old bodies. Everybody just got like old bodies, but they're just kids. Now when I look at people's age, like if I'm talking, I have friends that are 60s, I have friends that are 20. It's like I can see that it's just a kid with an older body. It's an older body. That's all it is. So we are always that kid. That's our natural state. But like all these responsibilities and everything that we have accumulated makes us so dense. So now we are, we don't even know ourselves somehow.
Mm.
Kids with big bodies. Yeah.
Because I like how you and Tanya talk about some people call it the dry state or the pranic state, right? The state of no consumption, nothing going in. You call that the natural state.
Yes, that's the natural state.
And you also say now that being a kid, that inner child is also the natural state.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Before your imagination get dense, that's your natural state. So that's what I like about when Tanya and I talk, we really just go back to that energy of natural states, because it's an understanding of that's a natural state. And also knowing that, well, food is a bacteria. We also say food is a bacteria, And now when we talk to each other, it's like, how long have you been clean? Because you've been clean from the addiction. It is an addiction, So we see it that way because of, it's like something that have taken us away from our natural state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this time you've been clean for how long? How long have you been clean?
We're trying to stay clean in November, we had our little relapse, but staying clean. Yeah.
Chronic nourishment November. Nourishment November, right?
Exactly.
Oh man. No
after,
eat.
Yeah, go ahead.
No eat November. No eat November, because some people do no nut November. A lot of men do the semen retention during November, and they call it no nut November. That's what they call it. That's a big thing on the interwebs. No nut November, and people get like, oh, I went the whole month.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
I went the whole month. I kept it in. I kept in the energy. I retained the energy.
Really?
Yeah, that's a big thing in the in the masculine circles. But I like no eat November. You're saying you're gonna go into the natural state for the whole month of the. Yeah.
At least as much as you can.
Okay.
If you have like little drink here or there, it's something else. But as long as you can.
Okay.
As long as we remind each other, like, hey. So I like that little reminder of like, okay, how are you clean today? Are you still clean today? Or have you had something? Or it's an addiction, So we should treat it as an addiction.
Because it's interesting to be how I like how Alexis down here, we have welcome Alexis. She said we're playing pretend, just kids playing make believe in this adult world.
Yes. Yeah, I refuse to be dense.
So do you feel like, when people say adulting, like, oh, I have to adult today, like I'm adulting right now, when they're not in that state of adolescence, do you feel like adulting is unnatural as opposed to being natural? No, yeah? Okay.
It's like you're forcing yourself something that is not naturally coming to you. It's not natural. Like children, when they play, they don't force themselves to go to the playground and play. They don't force themselves to play. It's just something that happens naturally. You flow with it. And if you don't want to play anymore, you go and do something else, And if you want to jump up and down, you just do it. You don't think about anything. But right now, if I just want to go and run around right now, I have to think about, oh my God, I'm an adult. And people are going to judge me. And this is going to happen. So I can't do it because I'm in this big body. But if you were just a little kid and you just run around naked, people wouldn't even see that seriously. So you wouldn't be even judged. You're more in your flow, right? But now you're being judged and you're scared of being judged, and then you can never be yourself. So you are always working when you're adulting.
Wow. And who's judging you? Because when you say that you want to jump, you have it within you to jump. No one has to tell you to jump. You enjoy jumping, but you don't want to jump because of the judgment?
It's not because of the judgment, but it's easier to get into the, you know, mental illness. They will take you into a mental facility if you just run around like a kid right now, because you're not classified as a kid. So now you will have to be an adult. Does that make sense? So it's not like the judgment of the person that would hurt me in any kind of way. It's just the society itself, you know, how you are seen as a crazy person when you're just being yourself. Just not eating and taking a break from eating, people look at you like you're crazy. But how crazy is it to never take a break? And
wow.
Always, always, always be high on something else but your own natural state.
Wow. Wow. That is profound. You know, there's a video game that I used to play back in the day. And I'd love to tell you about it briefly because you just reminded me of it, Nabiha. Can I just tell you real quick?
Yes.
So back in the day, I used to play a lot of video games. And there's a video game on, I think it was on Xbox. You can look it up. It's called We Happy Few. We Happy Few. And it was set in like Britain or London or some London, England. I think it was set in, you know, they had the accent, the English accent. And it was called We Happy Few. They used to take this pill, and everyone in society, in the upper and middle class society would be taking this pill, and it would make them feel so good. But it would also enter into the world of illusion. They wouldn't see the bad things, right? They wouldn't notice the sad things. Anything that was in their reality would immediately be bubbly, be joyous, be jubilant, be, you know, just everything was a playground. And so there was somebody at work, and so they decided one day, as they were looking through the list of things, they were looking through a newspaper, and they saw something that seemed familiar, and they said, "What is that?" And then these memories, these traumatic experiences started to kind of creep back like a whisper in his ear, and he said, "Maybe I shouldn't take this pill today." And he didn't take the pill, and he just, you know, put the pill aside, and then all of a sudden he started seeing things that he had never seen before, right? So instead, he saw his patrons, the people at his workplace, they were playing with a piñata, and they were like, "Come play with us." But they didn't know that they were playing with like giant rats. They were rats.
Wow.
They were like smashing with a bat, and the blood was spattering the whole office. But to them, it was candy. They thought it was candy because they were high on the drug. So when they saw him and they saw that he wasn't on the drug, they called him a downer. "You're a downer." And he got thrown into, you know, the dregs of society, down the because he didn't want to conform to being high.
Wow. Yeah. I think that's the same thing that would happen once you eliminate all this food that made you see the things that you see. I really believe that whatever that's the content that we have within is what we are displaying.
Okay.
So whatever you have within you, that's what you're displaying. So what you describe right now reminds me of that book that we read, The Giver.
Yes.
The Giver.
Alexis recommended that book. She's the one that I got it, and then, you know, we read it together.
Yeah.
So thank you again, you know.
Yeah, it reminded me of that. And it's just that when you are manipulated by whatever it is, whether it is an information that's been told to you, it could be history, it could be a religion, or it could be food. Whatever it is, whatever information that manipulates you, that's what you see. So when you remove that manipulation, that's the only time you can see clear. So that's what I was saying also yesterday on my video when I was talking about fasting. It's like clearing your house. If you're a hoarder and since you moved in, you just bring in stuff. The only thing you do is like take out the garbage. Everything else you just accumulate. What we do, all we do is like we just poop. We accumulate more, you know? So it's not enough to just poop and then accumulate and then poop and then accumulate. You know, some people don't even poop, you know? They have constipated. So it's the same thing when you hoard something, when you remove the stuff, you know, when you start learning to remove more than just the garbage, then that's when you can start seeing your stuff in the house. That's when the windows are clear and you can see outside, you know? So when we clear our system, we will see things that we never saw before. It doesn't mean they're not here. It's just that you were blind to see it because you were clogged up.
Okay. So hence the natural November, where we're opening our eyes again so that we can see.
Yeah. Every day you should just, you know, clean a little bit. It's not like you don't clean just one time. You have to keep on cleaning because every day you accumulate information. If it's just not food, you take ideas. You hear ideas. You see pictures. Everything that you see, you're encoding. And then you decode it. So it's very, you have to be very selective with what you let in, sink in, you know. Sometimes I have some things that I just see, they just block, you know, we acknowledge, done. I don't let it sink in. It's very important.
Right. Alexis said that, you know, she said society is a construct that we are programmed to believe in. Society is watching us. Even
exactly.
It doesn't exist. It does when you are dense. Interesting.
Yeah.
Decalcify mind, body, spirit, and soul.
Yeah. I know, Alexis, you're going through that detox, you know, clearing the air. You know, when people go on, when you start going on just clean diets and you see that nothing is coming out, you know, in a way that it used to come out, because you don't have that, you know, thing to come out, right? So for people to think it's so normal to just poop, and poop is so normal, it's not normal. It's not normal. It's just that you're eliminating, your body is trying to get rid of whatever you put in. So if you know like how to put in the right things, you know, you will just have like an information, like a flow within yourself all the time. You don't have to have things stuck in you. You can have that flow, so information and whatever can just flow through. I don't know how to eliminate all the information that we are intaking every day, but I know we can control the food at least.
Do you ever feel like, Nabiha, that sometimes you might take that flow for granted because you're not blocked up all the time, like you're not constipated constantly, so you might sometimes not even realize that you are in flow until something comes in that has to be let go?
Say that again.
Do you ever take that flow for granted? You know, some people, it's hard to realize where you are until something comes in the way, you know?
Yeah, the flow is, you have to maintain the flow. So it's not like something that, like if you just like, if you think of like that you're balancing on something, right? And society is always throwing you off. You know, you have to stay in that flow. So it's not like any flow that I'm taking anything for granted, but it's just that I constantly have to maintain my balance. Constantly have to maintain my balance, you know? And it's not like staying away from things or anything like that. I need to flow in it and not be affected by it. Does that make sense? I don't know if I understood your question correctly.
Yeah, you know, Alexis says I went from the poop flow to the chi flow, right? So
solid food.
Solid food had to flow, so I can let the love flow.
Yeah, you come a little in and out right now, Jerome.
Okay, let me see. And go around. You tell me when it comes back.
Yeah, someone said some things that we consume become part of us, and it's hard to detach. Yes, everything we consume become part of us, but you can reach a point where you don't have to be a chameleon. When you move, you back to your chameleon again. You know, whatever you are, you know, you can adjust to it. But then again, always know your true self.
Let me know when it comes back.
It's back now.
Back?
Yeah, now we're back.
Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, like they got these out here right now. I guess they're trying to defrost them. These things over here.
Oh my goodness.
They got them outside. try to defrost for the kids. They make stuff like this.
Yeah. I met a guy on Starbucks yesterday. He was reading this newspaper, you know, and I don't normally talk to people, but I was like, "Sir, I like what you're doing." He had the physical paper, you know, because I haven't seen that in a while. And every time I see someone with that physical newspaper, I always tell them like, "Oh, I love it," you know. But yeah, he asked me what I was doing, and I was writing a blog about food addiction at the time. And I said, "Yeah, I write some stuff about, you know, food addictions and fasting." And then he was interested in hearing it. But when I start sharing with him, you know, how everything's energy, how, you know, meat is energy, how he was really surprised. He said, "So you see everything as an energy?" I said, "Yes, just look at someone that eats only pork. Every morning when they wake up, egg, bacon, all of that, you can see the anger in them if they eat a lot of meat because of, you know, you're eating something dead. So it makes you so angry, you know." And he said, "Yeah, that's true." And then he said, "But how would I get my protein?" I said, how does the gorilla get his protein? You know, he's a gorilla don't eat meat, and he didn't even know that. I said, "No, gorilla is vegetarian." So simple thing as that, people don't even know. You know, people don't even know that. So he was so fascinated, and he said, "You know what? Let me try. Maybe, you know, I can start doing, you know, different meats or different things." You know, I said, "Experiment on plants." So.
Right. You know, I saw in that show, The Game Changers. There's a show on Netflix called Game Changers, and the guy, one of the strongest men in the world, he can like carry several people, you know, on his back, like on a bar. He lifted like 4 people at a time and just moved them across the pavement. And they asked him, you know, "How did you become as strong as an ox? You're as strong as an ox." He said, "Have you ever seen what oxes eat?"
Yeah. See?
You know? He's like, "I'm eating what they eat. They're not
Wow.
other
That's a
oxen."
good answer.
You know?
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're full of muscles, you know, they're full of muscles. But if you even think about the human body, right, the skeleton, right, just think about the skeleton. Like, imagine having this, you know, here is your skin, you know, this is your skeleton. And then when you get bigger and bigger with the fat, I think we're supposed to have muscles and not fat. Like, I'm just thinking, like, when you get big, 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 it must be heavy on the bones, right? Like, it must be. I'm just thinking out loud, but I don't think that's our natural state. How are we supposed to move around? We are only given this little skeleton, and then we put so much weight on it. It doesn't make sense. We even losing our shape. So
Yeah, I haven't well, you know, most of my life people always told me I need some meat on my bones. They say you need to get some meat on your bones,
yeah,
right?
I hear that a lot.
And so I haven't had the perspective of being, you know, obese or morbidly obese, where I was reading a story called Hunger. This book almost finished. It's called Hunger by Roxane Gay. And she talks about being super morbidly obese, 577 pounds. You know, her BMI is over 50. They call that super morbidly obese. So she talks about just everything was a task. Everything was an effort. Just to move from here to there, it felt like she had to exert so much energy, you know, just to move there. And everything felt like, you know, her breath was labored and all sorts of things. And, you know, she had to get her gallbladder removed. She had gallstones still remaining and all sorts of stuff she had to go through just because she had to grow through, you know?
Wow. But that's what I mean. That skeleton moving 700 pounds?
Yeah. That's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Like, just put on like a big backpack or something like that and move around with it all day. It's very, very heavy, you know. But it's an addiction if you can't stop. And the skin is the largest, you know, organ that we have. So we would stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch. So I'm just thinking these little tiny organs, how they hold things together, you know. I used to watch this 600 pounds life, you know, and when you see their life, how they go through that, it's just so sad. Because really, these people are not doing this on purpose. They're not doing it just, you know, to be fat, and they want to be fat. It's the mind that wins over them, you know, and it's the mind that constantly talking to them, go and get it, go and get it, go. They can't like fight their own mind. They're in battle with their own mind constantly. I can't even imagine how hurtful that is, you know?
Right, because to give you her perspective in the book, it's called Hunger by Roxane Gay. She talks about she was raped when she was young, and there were like 4 boys that held her down in a cabin in the woods, and they took advantage of her. And this was before she started eating like crazy. And after she felt like, you know, her no was disregarded, her pleas were disregarded, her yells were disregarded, her screams were disregarded, she no longer felt safe. And so in order to feel safe, she no longer wanted to be seen. And so she felt like she could not be seen by the opposite sex, that men would avoid her if she gained weight. Weight became her shield. It became like armor. She would eat and eat and eat so that she would be invisible to the opposite sex, so they wouldn't find her pleasing or appetizing. They would kind of disregard her and move away. So she wouldn't deal with them, you know. So she would consume as a way of protection, security.
It's mostly that.
And she found that love through food. It was her emotions. She was eating those emotions, you know. So it was something that she couldn't control, you know. She kept going.
I don't think anybody wants to harm themselves, really. It's just something within themselves that wins over them. It's some type of emotion, something that's, you know, silence in there that they only dealing with, you know. Because you never know what's in people's heads. You never know what's in people's, you know, minds all the time, and what they feel insecure about, what they feel hurt about, what they feel, all of that, you know. All we see is just surface, you know, but it's deep down they're hurting, you know. On top of it, again, just being big and knowing that not only just your appearance, but, you know, like all the health complications that you have to deal with, you know, like diabetes, heart attacks, this, you know, your organs cannot deal with it. Just like it's too big. It's too big for your organs. Your organs are still the same size, you know. Even if you're eating, it's not making the organs grow. The organs are still the same size, you know. So for her to deal with that and then I feel like it's like being in your own prison, in your own body. You're a prison in your own body, and nobody can save you, you know. And it's hurtful. It's hurtful to think about it. So yeah, it's an addiction. That's why I say food is an addiction. It's an addiction.
She actually described it just as you said that, Nabiha. She said it was a prison of her own making. Like she created her body, but now she was trapped inside of the body she created.
Yes. You know? Yeah, I can see that. Because when I was watching these people, I could see that they created their own prison. They're in there, you know. And they are ashamed, and they are scared, and everything, you know. And it's your own body. We can get out of buildings, but your own body in your prison. It's like you're suffocating yourself. So I really feel for them. And it's not like when someone is big and, you know, dealing with that, people see it as, oh, they did that to themselves. No. When you see someone like on drugs or whatever, they did that. Nobody wants to do that to themselves. There's something within them that made them do that way. You know, people just want to be heard. People just want to be acknowledged. People just want to be seen, really. So if they can get that, they wouldn't want to escape reality. So whether you want to escape it in your, like with food, or you want to escape it with drugs, you're still just trying to escape reality. So that's what more of us should share, and, you know, let people know reality isn't that bad after all. You know, we're all going through it. And some people always think like somebody got it together. Nobody got it together. Even the richest man in the world, nobody got it together. Nobody have figured out this life. I'm telling you. So, yeah, don't feel alone. You're not the only one, really.
Yeah, you know, Alexis said anxiety, fear, and sadness it doesn't have to be our normal. That so many people carry those feelings as if it's the only way of life.
Yes, that is not. But it's valid to feel that way. It's okay to feel that way. But you're not alone. That's one thing people need to know. You're not alone. You know, if you think you're the only one that is struggling with this, or you're the only one that's weird, you're the only one that's this. No, we're all in this together. We just know how to hide it better. Some people know how to hide it better. Some people know how, you know, but we're all in this together. Yeah. Have you seen, you know, people who are rich and whatever, they trying to just escape reality by chasing paper. It's not that they're doing anything different. If someone chase food and eat food and damage themselves, or someone like chasing paper, you're not focused on yourself when you're chasing paper either. Now you limited your whole success into this reality. So it's not like someone that is rich has achieved something, or, you know, it's not like that. Your wealth is your health. Really.
No, I agree. You know, I agree. She said, a lady told me the other day, joy doesn't last long. Happiness is temporary. It's so odd to hear that. It was motivating though. Joy has always been in and around my life. I love sharing it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we have limited beliefs for sure. I think, you know, happiness and joy is a mindset. You know, it really is a mindset, and it's achievable, and you can maintain it. It's like happiness is not, it's not something that lasts forever, but nothing lasts forever. Everything needs to fluctuate, you know. So it's just a mindset. You know, you need to allow yourself to be upset. You need to allow yourself to be, you know, okay with everything. That's a mindset. But it doesn't mean that you're neglecting the bad feelings, or you call them unhappy, or whatever you want to call them, you know. It's still just the one. It's just how you maintain your mindset. That's what happiness is to me. And joy. They go along. So, yeah. And you should share that. You should share that. Because that's what we need. Yeah.
You'll see the times, Nabiha, when we're in Qigong together, and
Mm-hmm.
y'all get me laughing. Sometimes I just start laughing, right? I just read something you say, and I just start cracking up. And people say, "Hey, I love your laugh," and I just say, you know, that's just the joy coming through.
Yeah. You see? Yeah.
Joy coming through. Yeah.
It's the energy. It is the energy. You know, some people, while I was finding myself, in the journey of finding myself, like I was lost, you know. I don't think anybody's lost, but, you know, in the journey of diving inward and getting to know yourself, you know, you find a lot of things, you know. So I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was looking at something.
Yeah, when you were finding yourself.
Yeah, I know. But what was I going to say about that?
What happened when you found yourself?
No, during my journey of finding myself, I find out something. When you come back,
you found something when you, before you found yourself, you found something else? No,
like when I was finding myself, I find out something.
You found out something
while I was finding myself. Yes.
What did you?
You see, I forgot. Maybe
you forgot
it was something.
Found?
I forgot what I found. Yeah, it will come back to me. It's fine. Yeah, it was something. It will come back to me. Yeah, but
you'll find it again.
Yeah, it will find me again.
It'll find you.
We'll find each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find each other. But yeah, it's all state of mind.
She said, let go programming, stay curious. I love that. She said, even when it rains, the flowers keep growing.
Yeah. Who said rain is sad anyway? Why do people describe the rain as a sad thing? Like, even when it rains, oh, when the sun is shining, both of them are nice. Like, Why do we value the sunshine more than the rain? I don't understand that. I really love rain. I really love the feeling of the rain when it gives me, you know, it's like, I love it. It's not like the sunshine is better and it's a rain day, it's a sad. No.
So last night, Naviha, you got me about to laugh. So last night I was meditating in the other room, and in the kitchen, Uncle Jimmy was he was cooking something, and he was listening to Frankie Beverly and Maze, and they got this song called Joy and Pain.
Mm.
I like sunshine and rain. And they kept saying it over and over like a mantra. They said, joy and pain. I like sunshine and rain. Say it again, say it again. Joy and pain. I like sunshine and rain. Say it again one more time. Like, they kept saying it over and over. They said it like 15 times. And the whole audience was like, joy and pain. I like sunshine and rain. Say it again, say it again. Like he kept saying it. I'm there meditating, right? I'm just there meditating. I hear all this joy and pain and rain. Like, okay, all right, I get it. You know, the universe is telling me, just love it all, love it all. Just don't discriminate.
You see how we program it? We program ourselves like that. Yeah. The rain is like sad now. But what if the sun burns you? You know, joy, what happened to joy? When you get sunburned, what happened to joy?
Oh, man.
You need a little rain, you know? Yeah, when you have too much sun, you need the rain.
So you need a little rain and you need a little pain.
Mm-hmm.
You need a little pain.
You do. Pain is not something bad. It's a part of the experiment, you know, experience, I should say, because I don't know how you will feel joy without feeling the opposite, really. Without knowing the opposite of something, how can you feel it? How can you know it? It just doesn't make sense. We do things that doesn't make sense. So yeah, joy and pain go together. It's that you need to have a little portion of each. Mix it up, blend it up, and then it becomes perfect. Yeah.
I gotta move because the guy's coming to cut.
Oh, I thought you said it was gonna rain.
Some people like more pain than others. You know that?
Some people like more pain than the others?
Yes, some people like more pain than others. Are you one of those people?
Oh, no. I don't like pain at all. I just accept it.
You don't like
No,
pain?
I just accept it. You don't have to like it, but you have to accept it. You know, acceptance and like it is two different things. No, I don't like drama. I don't like pain. I don't like that.
Can you talk about the difference?
You know, I always say, you know, you can't separate them, but don't just, you know, expect joy. It's the expectation of things that will mess up things, right? So when you always just expect that, and you're neglecting the opposite. So I just let it flow, but in my heart, I'm aiming for joy. You know, that's directed. That's what I'm aiming for. But I'm not, you know, neglecting what comes with it. Right? So little pain that comes with it, I can't say like, oh, you know what, this is pain and I don't want this. No, it can be there, but I'm never aiming for pain. Never. That's then you have to work with yourself a little bit, you know.
So when you say you're aiming for joy, does it not come natural if you're aiming for it?
Yeah, it's natural. It's a natural, you know, push. But
it's a natural push towards it, but it doesn't come from within.
Yeah, but you know, if it's a joy or if it's pain, it's attached to a perspective. So it's not that it is either or. It's just that it's your perspective towards it, right? So if I'm open to everything and whatever, you know, in my heart, I want that joy, so the joy will come. But then, you know, if it has a little pain in it, then something that's also acceptable.
So you want that joy in your heart, but are you saying that you don't attain the joy unless you aim for joy? You have to aim for it to attain?
No, you're not aiming for it, but it's like setting intentions. Your intentions. You have to set intentions, right? You can't just go without intentions. I don't believe that people can just walk. A lot of people do walk around with no intentions, but it's very important to have intention. Like you don't have any goal towards what you're doing and how you move and how you're doing. So your intentions need to match that, right? So when I go and greet people and meet people, I don't go with the mindset of judging, for example. I go in the mindset of just being loving and, you know, accepting everybody for who they are, what they are. They can do whatever that I don't even do. It doesn't matter, you know. I'm accepting everything as it is. That's my intention.
So with your intention of finding joy and aim, like you said, aiming or intending to discover that, where is it? Where is the joy before you found it? You know?
You know, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Like I said, it's a mindset. It's a perspective. So you can find joy in everything. In everything. It's not, you know, hidden anywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. But you say you want it in your heart.
It's not that I'm seeking. I'm not seeking anything. I'm just setting my intentions.
Yeah.
Or my heart is set that way.
Yeah.
It's wired that way. Yeah. But I'm not seeking and going after it, you know. It's not like I seek pain. It's not like I seek joy. I don't. It's just I set my intentions to just be in the flow of acceptance.
Okay. Okay. No, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, someone might ask the question like, well, you know, have you ever heard that song, Nabiha? I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. No, you know that?
No.
Okay. Well, that was a song that we used to sing when we were young, you know? I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? And you know, somebody would say, where? And you say, down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. And we kept saying it over and over. And it gave the assumption that it's not somewhere out there, but it's actually somewhere in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But it's the projection that comes from there, I guess. You know how you can make a judgment with your mind and judgment with your heart? Like your intuitions is coming from your heart, right? And then the mind can make decisions that are not the same, right? So when you say like joy comes from your heart, meaning the act that you're doing is out of your heart and not your mind. It's not like joy lives in there, but that's where you project it from.
Like a movie projection, like a movie screen?
You project it from your heart instead of your mind, yeah. Most of us project from our mind. You know, the mind overrides a lot of things in society. But then again, when you have that intuition, like you're feeling something and you know it's like more weight to it, you know it's coming from your heart, you know? The mind is like, makes decisions very quickly. If you let it sink in a little bit, it goes in and then... Yeah, am I back? I had a phone call, yeah.
Yes, yes. Michael said joy is in perspective. And Alexis says maybe our joy is growing while we're in pain. Jerome always taking us to Sunday school, yeah. She remembers that from Sunday school, yeah. Especially if we're dealing with trauma and we're freezing through emotions of all kinds can flow through you. So when you said projecting from your heart instead of your mind, when did you finally find that you could project from your heart and not your mind? Was that a discovery of yourself, or has it always been that way?
I think I discovered by projecting a lot through my heart. You know, you can get in trouble for that too sometimes. But yeah, I use my heart a lot more than my mind in situations. So I've realized the differences between when I do a mind and when I do a heart, you know. So it's not like something that, yeah, it started with, oh, that's my intuitions, you know. I need to trust my intuitions, and my whole life is based on my intuitions. You know, being on my own, I had to trust my intuitions. So it was more like a heart-based decisions I had to make, and I knew when I had to make the mind-based decisions, that was more like in the negotiation things, or more like in the business aspect, or more like, you know, in the survival mode. You know, I had to use my mind. But other than that, when it comes to a normal act or my way of living, I live through the heart. Yeah.
So why do you say, Nabiha, that you can get in trouble for projecting through your heart? What would... Hold that thought. Or go ahead. You can answer that while I answer the door.
Okay. I don't even remember the question, but...
Why would you for projecting through your heart? You said you can get in trouble.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you heard being gullible, you know. You can be very gullible in a lot of situations. And yeah, I've made a lot of decisions like that. I can't talk when you're busy like that. I'll wait. I'm unable to see my messages. We see your messages, Daniel. I see you, especially if we are dealing with trauma and we are freezing through an emotional of a kind of... Okay, I see your messages, Daniel. Maybe we can reflect on that if that's what you want.
Look, Nabiha, you remember who I told you I met?
I have the feeling that I know. Yeah. Hey, I just knew when he knocked on the door.
You remember what I told you the other day? He was busting handstands in the living room?
Yes.
Let me do it for you.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, fine.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Jerome. I love
Wow.
you. This is a good man right here.
So,
yeah.
So ask him, because, okay, so I told her you were talking to us about all sorts of stuff. You were telling us.
I'm not smart.
Oh, you saw good, but just like, can you talk about what led you to your current journey right now?
Oh man, I'm so nervous right now.
He said he's shy. She's shy.
I'm very shy too.
She said she's shyer than you. There won't be a later.
Trust me, you know, if I can do it, you can do it.
Oh man.
Yes, if I can do it, you can do it.
A bit about your lifestyle, how you started.
It's a book. I don't even know where to start at. Honestly, you know.
Go ahead.
I'm shy.
Just talk about it.
I'm not used to this.
I know, it's just the first time, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Just talk from the heart. We talking about projecting from the heart. That's what we just talked about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Take a deep breath. Promise you, this is a space where you can express anything, however it comes through your heart. I already know. I just want to hear you. I already know because I can feel you.
She just want to hear you. Yeah. These are the folks listening to us. They've been listening to the
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we family here. We love you.
Okay. Well,
nervous. That's all. Go ahead.
I started cleansing my body, you know, practicing, learning Tai Chi, and I've just been really serious about it, and practicing, and just a soul journey. I don't even know where to start at.
Yeah.
And history, you know, all that, and
Tell her why you started fasting, why you started doing stuff, you know, what you cleaned out.
I cleaned out parasites. When I seen those, I was like, oh, this is real. This is nanotechnology right here. Yeah. They tell you how to act, what to eat, like a robot.
Yeah.
And man, I'm so small now. I used to be like 185. Now I'm like with a 36 waist, and now probably 150 with a 28 waist. You know. And
you weigh 150 pounds?
Around 150, 160 now.
Damn,
I know I am.
You don't look like you weigh that.
I feel like I'm gonna float away. I know we're gonna be able to fly. When I came over here, I seen a falcon flying over circling over the house. So it's meant to be here this morning.
You were meant to be
How you
Good.
Hey, I found out about the car.
No, hell, I ain't had no money, so I ain't called your
So-
pen yet.
What other questions you got?
So you're Ethiopian?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I love the culture. I love the culture.
Thank you.
I knew another Ethiopian girl, and she came over here to America, and she was just so different, like this guy. So different, you know.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't understand how you guys on a funeral, you know, we just one day and it's over with. She's like, oh no, we stay with the family the whole week and comfort the family, you know, in my country. And I was like, oh yeah, she was real sweet.
Yeah.
Her name was
Ruth,
and then I love Ethiopian food, Angela.
Yeah. We have a lot of vegan.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only culture I feel like has a lot of vegan food. The Ethiopian culture.
Yeah. A lot of spicy.
Yeah, a lot of spices. Yeah. I'm not used to that food because I didn't grow up in Ethiopia.
Oh really?
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've had it a few times. I've tried a few times, but I grew up in Scandinavia, in Europe, but I understand the culture because my family is from there.
Yeah, I always see you talking to Jerome on YouTube. When he first came out with his channel, like only like one person watching. That was me.
Wow. Wow.
Like what 2020? Yeah, when he first started, and he encouraged me when I seen him. I met him before, and when I seen him, I was like, oh, he encouraged me. I'm like, oh, if he can do it, I can do it. So
Absolutely.
I watched the whole journey of him doing the 30-day fast, and I was like, oh, this is possible. You know, he encouraged me a lot, and I read the book with him, Breatharian. That was the book that you read, and
yeah.
it's
the importance of sharing.
Pardon me?
The importance of sharing, you know.
Yeah.
When you start sharing with your community, with people you know, just don't be shy about it. Really.
Older, I'm not used to this technology, you know, so I got to get used to it first.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, just like, you know, when you talk to people, when you see them outside, when you maybe sit somewhere and you see somebody, you know, just don't be afraid of speaking your truth.
Oh, no.
Because you know the evidence right now, right?
With speaking to, the Spirit tells me who to talk to.
Yeah.
You know, I can discern it, know who to give my energy to and who's not, you know.
I love that. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that's how we can influence each other, you know, by just speaking up and, you know, just doing you, really. Like if Jerome came out and said like, hey, everybody should do this, I don't think anybody would follow any of his advice, you know. But just like I did this and this is how I live and I love this, you know, it encouraged the person to try, you know. You said you remove a lot of parasites because that was your way of thinking. That's what you have inside of you, you know.
And it's a never-ending process. Once you clean up, that don't mean you don't still have them because it's on all the food, everything we eat. It's in the soy, all the genetic products, everything has GMO in it. So you got to like kind of navigate yourself through, you know. Anytime I go to the grocery store, it takes me hours because I'm looking at all the ingredients.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's what we should do, you know. Imagine just buying.
I came to a point where, you know, you really can't eat nothing. It's nothing really.
I know.
Water is the best thing, distilled water.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the water you have to program somehow.
Yeah, well, I put crystals in my water. I distill my own water, so I put crystals in it.
That's
and
nice.
when I heat it up, when it's heated up and turned into vapor, then I heard and put it in an ice box to hold that memory in there in the water.
Ooh, I love it. Yeah, I do the same. Oh, I used to do a lot of it before, but yeah. It's your temple, you know. Whatever you put in your temple.
just other people, scholars I listen to. I listen to so many people.
Because he works with a lot of crystals too. He's like a crystal magic, like a crystal magician.
Yeah. Actually, I brought my RV out here.
Oh man, he got so many.
If you want to go look, you want to go outside? Well,
the connection is good right here, so we can definitely do that. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted.
Send me a picture.
I just wanted her to hear you. You know, like how did you start doing energy work? How did you start working with these?
Practicing with magnets, because we're electromagnetic beings, and we have energy that flows, constant flow, and we're a particle of light. And right now, the sun, magnetic energy is changing. The planet is evolving. It's rising right now. That's why you have a lot of people with guts, the fat. They can't get. It's harder to use the restroom because everything's flowing up. The magnetic, the sun in our sky is hitting our sun in the middle core, and it's a magnetic energy that keeps flowing like this.
I know.
Through our feet, through our crown chakra.
Yeah.
And anything, once that solar flash hit, it's going to be different. This reality is going to be different.
Yeah.
The book we've been reading, The Nobody People, you know, about people becoming more resonant, that resonance energy. What he was telling me, it was very reminiscent of that, you know, people becoming resonant, people awakening, you know, just becoming more open.
Yeah, well, the heart chakra opens all the other chakras. So once you open your heart chakra up, like everything activate. And I was blessed with a good heart. So it's something like Jerome that something I didn't hate is something I always had, and I awakened it, you know. So
yeah, I know what you mean. I really know what you mean, because I used to have, every time somebody says like, oh, why are you talking to this alcoholic? And they're like this when I was, you know, growing up. And I used to say they have the biggest heart. This person that you think is damaged, you know, has the biggest heart. And a lot of us are blessed with that big heart. You know, the mind will really like mess you up. But
I have a best friend that passed away, was an alcoholic, and they don't lie, because the alcohol, that's everything, how they feel flows out. So you already know how he feels, because it's, you know, the alcohol, you know, they call it spirits. Yeah. So
absolutely.
Out, you know.
Yeah.
And you could be entertaining an angel too, so you can't deny nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the angels here on the planet, and they're not rich people.
Yeah.
At least
that
you expect.
Exactly. It's like if you have an open heart, you wouldn't separate people like that. You know, you just feel the energy. You feel the energy.
The heart is getting weighed by the feather. Your heart has to be in the feather. The principles of Maya. So that's what's about bringing justice and order to this planet through the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about our throat chakra? Go ahead.
Yeah, when your throat chakra is open up, you just speak out of the heart.
Yeah.
And
I worked a lot with the chakras during my awakening, so I've gained some type of my own understanding of it. Yeah. So Jerome activated my throat chakra.
Yeah, well, most important is the philosopher's stone, which is in the middle of your brain, the pineal, and that's vibrating. It's actually spinning like the solar system, and it's opening. People's around the world is opening.
Yeah, I can see that. I can really see that.
Energy that change, and the human resonance, the frequencies change. And when this happens, the whole periodic table of the elements is going to change. So it's going to be a new reality. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm tired of this old stuff.
Yeah.
Alexa said Ellie Tom would love to talk to you. You know.
I love to talk to him too. He looks like a very, very interesting person. And I said, oh, Jerome got a chance to meet and be friends with him. I was like, man, maybe I can do that one day. Show him what I can.
Community. We're not that big, you know. It's not that big. Yeah. So please welcome. You should invite your friend to the church, the Prana Lulia gathering.
He's not. He doesn't have cell phone. He's not on social media. Off the grid.
Well, that's why I can do what I do, because I isolate myself and I just I do Tai Chi. Like I can do it 6 hours a day. No,
that's good. I love that for you. I love that for you.
You know?
But I also think, it's good to really come together in communities, however you can find.
Yeah. If I have more, the people I have around me is like nobody understands. Everybody think I'm crazy, really.
Yeah.
People around me. So,
that's why you need the house.
Yeah. That's why my friend Jerome, because he's like on my level. The only person I really, I can really express myself, and he understands, because we take the left-hand path. He's left-handed, I'm left-handed. So we think with our right brain, right knowledge.
I love that. I love that.
And other people, it's a creative. We use our creative mind, not our logic mind.
Yeah.
So
thank you for sharing. Thank you for
inviting me. I wish I would have done it.
You see?
Right on time.
Yes.
Oh, God.
For some reason, I felt the energy when he knocked the door. I don't know why, but I really did feel it. And when you were hugging him, I just knew it was him. But thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
Talking to me. Thank you. I'll speak to you whenever.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
You get back.
Bless it.
Awesome. I'll get with you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome, Nabiha. Thank you for that. I'm so proud of him. Like that was a big leap for him. That was a big step. Just to talk, just to speak. That was big. That was major. He's very, when it comes to technology, when it comes to this, and not very outspoken when it comes to this. So thank you. Just appreciate it.
He's not alone, most of us are like, okay, nobody understands me. I don't know who, it's just this person. And then they hold on to that person, and then they stay on their own. We all went through that stage, really. So it's good to just let people know, hey, there are more of us. There are really more of us. So yeah, thank you for doing that. Thank you for putting people on the spot. Yeah, I was saying that you opened my throat chakra because I was afraid of, coming on live, and I was always shy, and you encouraged me to do that. And the more I come on here, the more I express myself. So I feel like my throat chakra was activated somehow. So thank you.
Oh, it's activated.
Yeah.
It's activated. It's fine. Yeah.
It's activated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Too active. Anyway, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being here. Retreat time with Jerome and Nabiha. Yeah, that would be nice. But much love. All right.
Yeah.